4 minutes, so that's pretty good starting time. Let's get it rolling. And for those that are late, they can always catch the recording or as much of it as I can provide.
Yeah, no problem.
So, welcome again, Jordan and the MetaPetz team, to the elk herd. Glad to finally have you in our Telegram chat as a fellow bag holder or investor, I should say.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I love elk. Everything you guys are doing, it's quite amazing and impressive.
Yes, thank you. And well, we're excited to have partnership with you guys. Obviously, there's an association with the Polydoge team and a lot of things with that whole universe. So a lot of stuff going on your side and Elks, really working hand in hand with these NFT projects and things like that. So we're excited for what you guys have. Um, let's just have you start off the top for those that are unfamiliar. A quick overview of the project. I know there's a lot going on with it and a lot to explain. You don't have to go through everything, but quick overview
Yeah, it'd
for
take
the
me
noobs
forever to
that don't
explain
know.
everything.
Yeah, so take a
Well,
minute
well,
or so
first off,
and tell us.
yeah, first off, I'll just give it just a quick background myself, real fast. So, my name is Jordan. I've been in the crypto space now full time for almost a year. My background is in I served 8 years in the United States Marine Corps. Went off to be a sports massage therapist. Had several ventures with that. Was quite successful working with professional athletes and celebrities, and um, had a world class sports massage company of my own. And I've worked quite a bit in nonprofits. I also helped build a platform on Facebook called Worldwide Unified that had about 567,000 people in 138 countries and over 49 million engagements every month. And so
Wow.
I've got yeah, it was amazing. And so it was like a slice of heaven on earth, and just people coming together, sharing their stories, sharing their life experiences, and it's just really beautiful place. And so I got to be a part of that and leading those initiatives, and then working with different gaming projects. And I landed in the blockchain space because I wanted to find ways to empower communities through giving them better opportunities financially, and then also being able to fund different nonprofit projects through this technology. And so that's kind of how I came about to getting into this industry. And it's incredible. It's amazing what we can do here. And I mean, it really is the emerging internet of tomorrow, and the human interactions of tomorrow, and Web3 just I mean, it excites me to no end. And so that's kind of a little bit of background about me, and where I come from, and what I'm kind of bringing to the table when it comes to all the projects that we're working on with Polydoge and the overall Polydoge ecosystem. And so Polydoge, I'll just give a little bit of background on that real quick, because it's a major component to MetaPetz. Polydoge is the #1 community coin on Polygon. We launched April 28th of last year, so we're coming up on our anniversary right now. We have been able to be pioneers on Polygon for NFTs, play to earn, metaverse events. We did Polycon 2021, which had thousands of attendees. Elk actually was a part of that, which was pretty awesome. Um, and
Love it.
so that's yeah. So we had AMAs and panels, and over $50,000 in giveaways. And so we're as the Polydoge team, we're just kind of looking for those ways to push it to the next level, and that next level is coming with MetaPetz. And so What MetaPetz is, it's an experiment with ever evolving AI pets that are digital NFTs and built on Unreal Engine 5 and running off of the Network Metaverse. The Network Metaverse is a metaverse project that is being built on Unreal Engine 5, going to have the highest level of fidelity graphics. They have over probably 200 plus different partners. They're working with every type of sector of industry and then bringing that into their products. And we're just really excited about what the what what we could potentially do with them this year. And so we built this whole entire multiverse of experiences around these MetaPets and added story and lore so everything kind of makes sense. And so we we didn't just want to go into creating something that was, you know, innovations just in GameFi. Like, we even created our own hybrid model called Connect to Earn. And so we're looking at every possible way that we can connect the metaverse with reality and have them benefit each other, in the tangible world and in the play to earn worlds across the board. So bridging them. And so we're looking at ways we can make our games entertaining, captivating, and then meaningful. So that's one of the things we feel is like our unique value proposition, is that we are exploring every type of avenue of approach where your interactions with your MetaPets are meaningful interactions, and then they reward you at the same time. So you're also getting that impact that can increase your quality of life. And I can go into more detail about that, but that's kind of like our vision for this project. And it's so much more than just a game.
Hmm. Yeah, it's like an entire universe with these pets and NFTs. Maybe kind of like a modern version of the old Tamagotchi, but living on the blockchain and able to interact in the same way. Sounds like.
Yes. So, and we do take inspiration from Tamagotchi. I love playing with Tamagotchis. When I was in 5th grade, that's when they came out. And I'll never forget the joy of, you know, like taking care of my little Tamagotchi and trying to make sure he did, you know, he or she didn't die, right? And so
Yeah, I remember those things too.
right,
Yep. You
and
got to take care of
making
it every
sure
day.
that, yeah, right. And so we're kind of, yeah, we're kind of doing that. We're doing like a Tamagotchi 3.0, and then mixing in MMORPG elements, because we really want to bring the community aspects into it. So it's not just you, just, you know, every day you're just playing with your pet and that's it. Like, you get to interact with many other communities, many other projects. And one thing that's really cool about our project is that we are building out the foundation right now with the core team. But then once we have that foundation, that structure in place, then the community is coming in and helping us build the rest. So we're looking at the community helping us to build out, you know, new gameplay mechanics, new NFTs, you know, new gamified experiences, and then building that over years and years and years of time. And so where the gameplay and the game mechanics and the multiverse aspect is ever evolving as well.
Really interesting. Yeah. So, like I said, a lot.
I don't know if did we lose you, or did I? Let me check.
Can you
We
tell us
might.
a little bit more about the DAO? I think Pedro might have
There we go.
disconnected there.
I think I'm
Okay,
back.
yeah, Pedro's back. Okay.
Sorry. Weird. Yeah, I was just saying that for those, obviously a lot going on there, a lot of cool stuff to wrap your minds around. And for those that are brand new or have no idea, just a good idea to take a quick look at their website, just MetaPetz with a Z.co.
Yep.
And I think it's linked to our announcements as well. But we'll continue on with more about it. I was curious, what was kind of your general inspiration behind the MetaPetz idea?
That's a great question. So my inspiration comes from Tamagotchi. It comes from my days of playing with Pokemon. As a big Pokemon fan, I played all the games through like my Game Boy, and then I had quite a bit of cards. I even went to the gym battles at Toys R Us here in the United States, and tried to climb the ranks, through that. And so, just so, uh, and then I have a significant background in MMORPGs, and I've always loved having my little pet or companion running around with me, in different virtual worlds and on my different missions and quests that I'm on. And so I was like, well, everyone's going to want to have pets and companions in the metaverse and have that same kind of magical experience. So either we're going to do it or someone else is going to do it. And then I thought about like taking it deeper, not just let's go below the surface level of just what the gamification can be, and how can we use this use case to help people with depression? How can we use this use case to help people with addictions? How can we make it so that your MetaPets can actually talk to you and interact with you, and help expand your horizons, help you to be a better person? So these are the things that we're really diving into and exploring, and it's so much fun because there's so much we can do with this technology that we haven't even scratched the surface of what's possible yet.
Yeah, definitely. Very interesting. That's very cool. Yeah.
Yeah, we actually have some scientists that are on the team. One of them is in this meeting, on this AMA right now. I see them right now. So, but they have a focus like on neuroscience and cognitive science, and like the way that the psychology works with gamification and UI and VR and AR. And so they're going to be helping to develop like scientific journal on this whole project, so that we can even get scientific funding and grants, because we're taking it so much deeper than just GameFi.
Very cool. Yeah, and I like that you're going to be doing positive things with it, right? Not just getting people addicted to it, but helping them be better people, like you said. That's really awesome.
It's a really clever way to create to provide like light in the metaverse. We're looking at, okay, what is this new world going to look like? What is Web 3.0 going to be? And so we really want to help be shapers and thought leaders in this space of making it an empowering place, making it an inclusive place, making it a place where we can all benefit even more than and then grounding ourselves within reality too. So one of the features that we're working on is that you can take your MetaPets outside and do like move to earn, right? And get that exercise, because we can't lose ourselves completely in the every aspect of our life. It's a mind body spirit connection. Like, we have all these different aspects that we need to be able to nurture, right? And so your MetaPets will help you to nurture those aspects in your life.
Yeah, I love the sound of that. That's really cool. Where are you guys on the roadmap at this stage? Very early on with development of the whole metaverse with it, things launched.
So we're definitely early right now. We're preparing to launch our founders NFTs, and our founders NFTs it's kind of like owning a share within the MetaPetz ecosystem. And we have 3,428 hand-drawn PFPs that correlate and tie into our story and lore. So the way that our story and lore works is that we have these Shiba Inus from another planet that are highly evolved called the Ibashuni,
Hmm.
and so they basically have been living on this planet for quite a while. They have this particular ingredient that's like their most coveted, and the reason that ingredient is so coveted is because it helps provide and create their favorite food, and it prolongs life, it heightens their senses, and it also brings like a state of oneness with the universe that's not experienced before. And so they start running out of this particular resource, and there's all these different ways that they go out into the universe, go out to different galaxies, and they find other civilizations, other races, and these wars start over this resource. And meanwhile, while those wars are happening, they send an elite group out, and they find our planet, and they find this particular resource. We're calling it Ingredient X right now because we're going to have a community contest to actually name this ingredient. and so they find Ingredient X, and they find a mix of different avatars and humans, all working together on our planet, or like in the metaverse, right? And then those avatars and those humans, they're kind of like controlling the supply. Like it's going to be hard for them to be able to get to this ingredient, and so they create the MetaPetz as companions to earn their trust. And so that's kind of how the whole story begins, and then the rest of the story is to be written by our users and to be written by the entire community. And so we're even thinking about having project historians come in and be a part of, like every time that we bring a partner in, we're going to create a new part of the story and lore that moves into our multiverse. And by around Q4 of this year, or even Q1 of next year, we're even thinking of having our own animated cartoon series that highlights all those different aspects of the story as it moves along.
So kind of like the DAO will write the story.
Yeah, exactly. and they'll get rewarded for that as well. And so but yeah, so back to where we are on the roadmap. We're getting ready to launch those PFPs. There's about 20 billion different combinations. Those holding those PFPs gives you many different benefits. So you get a MetaPetz Mint Pass, which mints your 3D MetaPetz for use in network. You get access to a special to be announced secret project that we've been working on and are not ready to just say just yet. But I mean, it's phenomenal and incredible, and we have unbelievable partners that are working with us on that secret project. And so you'll get access to those NFTs and then that whole entire ecosystem tying within MetaPetz. And then you'll also get a 3D Ibashuni completely rigged avatar that you can use in the metaverse. And you could either use it as your avatar, or you can play it in our Battle Royale game that's coming out in Q3 that's like Warzone. And it's built on Unreal Engine 5.
Very, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, sweet, right? and then you get airdrops of the MetaPetz tokens and lifetime rewards from the MetaPetz ecosystem. So as we add more projects, as we do, like for instance, let's say that we're working with Elk, and we say, okay, Elk, well, what we want to do is make these amazing 3D avatars for Elk. We'll do like profit sharing together, and then a percentage of that will go back to the Ibashuni holders. So the Ibashuni holders, they're getting insane benefits, and the price for the Ibashunis is only 190 Matic.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not
So
bad.
I mean, you're already looking at roughly $2,000 in value just right off of what we already have built in for the Ibishunis already.
Very cool. And I like the idea of an elk themed one, or some people in the chat were mentioning a moose. A moose pet would be pretty cool. And little Ralphie. Like
Yeah,
little Ralphie.
yeah,
It would be
definitely.
nice. But
And
yeah,
and and that it yeah, and I'll just say this real quick. So that's one of the most an incredible part of our ecosystem is that when we build out new breeds, when we build out new MetaPetz, that we're working with projects that are already established, and we work together to grow the ecosystem together, to grow our projects together, and then share and then do very generous profit sharing. And that particular project really doesn't have to do too much, but just say, okay, yeah, we'll promote this to our community, and we'll build this together, bring in that story and lore. And so yeah, it's pretty sweet that we can plug and play so many different projects and many different types of utilities. And when it comes to the MetaPets, like one of our goals is for people to think when they hold Ibishunis, or when they hold the MetaPets or any other NFTs, like, oh my gosh, like this project has more utility than we've ever seen.
yeah. Wow. 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 Uh, what was I going to? Oh, I was thinking of the Ibishuni that you mentioned. I want to remind people of our whitelist opportunity here for the Ibishuni that we have on our Twitter. So it's in the announcement. Like, retweet, tag 3 friends, follow Elk. Can win up to $500 worth of Elk tokens, which are worth much more than $500 in the near future, I would say.
I would say so too.
And a chance to get whitelisted for an Ibishuni PFP. So if you have not already smashed that like and retweet button on our Twitter with all of your alt accounts, I recommend doing that now.
And we're giving out 50 whitelists to the elk community for the MetaPets.
50.
Yep. Yeah, 50. Yep.
All
So
right.
yeah, because we believe in your project so much, and we feel like with everything that we're building over at MetaPetz and with Polydoge, that I mean, we can, working together, we're gonna grow faster together, right? So yeah, man, absolutely love elk. We talk about it all the time in our team. We're talking about elk.
That's great. Yeah, I'd love to hear it. How big is the team, by the way?
So the core team is around roughly about 12 people. Then we have some other supporting core team members, so around like 24, and then we have more support. So it's roughly around like 50 different people that are helping work on this project.
Wow. Okay. And like you said, some big brain people when it comes to psychology, when it comes to VR skills, AR skills. So a
Yeah,
lot
we
of good
do,
people working
and
behind the scenes.
we've got a incredible 3D artist, a few 3D artists, and our main 3D artist, he's been doing 3D and CG for 25 years. He actually has taught CG at different schools. He's worked with AAA games. He's worked with feature films. He's worked with. He actually was the main 3D artist for Dubai's Got Talent. And then came on to our team. He saw what we were creating. He's like, I really want to be a part of this. Like, this could be something huge. And so you're gonna be seeing very soon some amazing developments when it comes to our 3D side, and seeing, like, the animations of the MetaPets, and in kind of like the art direction that we went with. The art direction we're going with is kind of like a mix of like Borderlands and like the that Netflix series that League of Legends did, Arcane. Yeah, so it's kind of like a
Hmm.
mix of those elements because we really wanted to stand out. We wanted to make it make it so that when you're in the metaverse and you have your MetaPets, that everyone will be super recognizable. Like you you'll see someone running with a MetaPet and you'll be like, or MetaPets, and you'll be like, okay, yeah, that's from the MetaPets project because of the way that it looks. And so we did a hybrid of several different popular designs and in fashions. But then this is the other thing is because we are a multiverse project, we can bring in any type of art assets. So we can do black and white, we can do stick figures, we can do 8-bit, 12-bit, 16-bit, anything that we want, and then tie that into story and lore through like portals and wormholes and all kinds of different things. And so we're exploring all that ideation, and some of our first gamification won't be on Network because the Network mainnet will launch around Q4. So we do have ways that you'll be able to play with your MetaPets and work with your Ibashunis and do different quests and and like guilds and different structures even before the mainnet launches. So that's pretty sweet too.
Very cool. Very cool. So I'm going to open it up to audience questions here in just a minute. So if you have some formulating in your brain, get ready to either raise your hand. Hold on just a moment.
Okay.
Just a moment, LFC. I appreciate the energy. I wanted to just kind of have one last baseline question here for people that are starting from zero, starting from scratch. How do they get set up and really into the flow of the MetaPetz ecosystem? What do they need to do? What NFTs do they need to mint? How do you start from zero and get rolling?
Okay, so first off, I would recommend joining our Discord because that's where a lot of the information is coming. We have a whitelist form that's on there, so if you don't get a whitelist from the from the Elk community from the 50 whitelist, then there would be a very good chance that you can get a whitelist from that form. Another thing is that we will have 400 of the MetaPets that you'll be able to buy with Polydoge itself. So if you want to get into the Polydoge ecosystem, and we highly recommend that because the main gameplay token of MetaPets is Polydoge. So there's about 9 different ways that we're using Polydoge within the economics and tokenomics of the gameplay. And then there will be a MetaPetz token, and the IDO for that will probably be around June. And we're already working with some IDO partners right now on getting that locked down. But that governance token will be used for some reward systems, but also will be key to the breeding system and also unlocking different experiences to get higher APRs, higher reward tiers. So there's a whole entire backend that we're creating for that. So yeah, the fastest way that you can get involved is join the Discord, hang out with the community, get on the whitelist form, and prepare for our launch. Our launch should be coming in the next coming weeks here for the PFPs, for the Founders NFTs. And we have about 55 plus different partners that will be pushing those announcements out. And we partnered with one of our biggest partner we still haven't even announced yet. So man, I can't I can't wait to showcase that one because people are going to freak out that we even got them as a partner.
All right. Lots of things coming down the pipeline very soon here. So jump in that Discord, get involved. Things are going to start lifting off here soon. Awesome. All right, LFC, go ahead and chime in.
Hi, thank you, Pedro. Yeah,
Yep.
thank you, Jordan, for the presentation. So, in my question, I'll just try to make it brief. Now, while going through the roadmap, I noticed that you're yet to implement the MetaPetz DAO. So, regarding the DAO implementation, I want to ask, what kind of DAO system are you looking at? Is it the on-chain governance or the off-chain governance? And how transparent will it be? Because a lot of DAO has been accused of not being transparent. So how we promote transparency in the DAO? And what kind of decisions can community members get involved in making regarding the project? And also, do they have the right to submit proposals? Yes.
Oh yeah, so LC, that's a
Okay.
fantastic question. Okay, so one of the biggest aspects of our whole ecosystem we're building is making sure that the community has just about full decision making power when it comes to building out all the different values and different features that we're adding. So the transparency will be at a level that you probably haven't seen with most DAO projects, because the community is such a big part of how we make it all work. And then another thing is that it will be on chain, and there will be governance with the Ibashuni PFPs as well. And the tokens, like you'll have to hold a certain amount in different tiers to have different types of weights of voting within the ecosystem. And so it is somewhat of a hybrid model, because there are some things that, because this is a problem that we've seen, is that sometimes the community decides to do something that is probably not best for the whole project. And so there will be checks and balances across the governance, and we will have an entire DAO council that will help to guide and direct the DAO. And so that's really key and important, because we don't want to get away from the vision or foundation that we have created for what we want to do for the future. Because if you're looking at the roadmap, I mean, it's quite robust, but I mean, when we're looking at 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years from now, because we're establishing a project that can be sustainable and can last for years to come. Hopefully that answered your question, LC.
Yes, definitely. You did. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Love it.
Yeah, thank you, Pedro.
You're quite welcome. Anyone else listening in, again, feel welcome to raise your hand or unmute yourself and either tell us how much you love elk or how much you love MetaPetz, or ask a question.
There's a fair amount of questions coming in the chat.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Okay, let me
Yeah,
hit
I'll
the
try to scroll
chat.
through there, but preference to the voice chatters, so I don't have to scroll through this Polydoge mayhem that just
Okay,
happened in
yeah.
our
So someone asked, will we see a moose pet in MetaPetz? Well, I guess I can drop the alpha. We definitely would love to have moose MetaPetz, and also the moose avatars too. So, yeah, that's something that the elk team and the MetaPetz team will be working on together, for sure. Absolutely.
Good evening.
Cool.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, Chucky, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I listened to you guys thoroughly, but then when talking about MetaPetz and the game, we didn't really give any sort of kind of insight to non-crypto users, especially so guys who want to play the game who aren't actually like say how do I put it? They are not well accustomed to the crypto world. Is there like any form of tutorial for them to go across the game and learn on the game? Like, can they learn on the job? And then is there like any kind of fee that we pay to start? Do we have to hold some NFTs or tokens to play the game? Is it free of charge?
Yes. Okay. This is one of the best questions we've had so far. we see that there is a massive problem right now in the play to earns because it's siloed to many of the just the community that owns like the NFTs, and then much of the NFT holders of a particular play to earn game, they don't even play the game. They're more speculators, right? They're more investors. So to combat that, or to, you know, create a way where we can scale fast, we're creating starter MetaPetz. So anybody in the world would be able to play the game at a certain level, and then access some of the play to earn a little bit, like, but not the full access to the entire you know, financial systems of how we reward the users. So you will have to own like MetaPetz, but we do have a breeding system. So there will be at start we'll have about 6,000. Let me pull the actual full number. Sometimes I forget the actual number because it's not like a just a second here. It's 6,000. Let's go up. Okay. I'm just looking at my numbers. Oh, 6,856. So we're starting with 6,856 Shiba Inu MetaPetz. And then those Generation 0 MetaPetz will be able to breed and create 7 different generations. So you'll have 7 different generations. So the barrier to entry will be lower as those generations go down, rarity and everything like that. So there will be people that will be able to get in at a much lower price than just the Generation 0. And all those Ibashuni holders, they get a free Generation 0 right off the bat. So 3,428 are automatically going to Ibashuni holders, and then 3,428 will be available for public sale. Public and whitelist sale, depending on what we do with you know, our different communities. It might just be straight up just whitelist. So that's really cool because anyone will be able to, you know, kind of jump into our game, play with the MetaPetz, and see if it's meaningful to them, if it's impactful to them, if it's you know, a game world that they want to stick with, an IP they want to stick with. And then they can decide to buy an NFT and then get even more access to reward systems, or they can just play with their free starter MetaPetz. And the starter MetaPetz can't breed, by the way.
Wow. Okay. Nice one. I really like the way you broke it down for me. You also gave me a brief talk of your tokens and your tokenomics. I like that. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh yeah, you're welcome.
Do we have to take care of these pups daily, like the Tamagotchi, and they die if we don't?
Okay, so they're not going to die. So this is alpha. I haven't even talked about yet. So there will be they will start as babies. So you will have little puppies, right? And then they will grow up according to the level of interactions, how much you nurture and take care of them. The more you nurture and take care of them, the more they'll take care of you. But as we're working with our scientists, and as we're working with you know, different systems of gamified UI, we don't want to make it so that you have to play with your MetaPetz like crazy amount of hours each day, right? So there will be a certain break point when we're looking at the amount of time that you spend with your MetaPetz, because we feel like it is not conducive to health if people are playing with their MetaPetz like 10 or 12 hours a day or something like that, right? And so there will be kind of like a certain amount of hours that you could play, and then like maybe like a minimum. And remember, the MetaPetz at first they'll start on PC, and then we'll be moving. We will have our own AR mobile app that you'll be able to use your MetaPetz and, you know, have them in AR. And there's a whole nother product offering when it comes to all of that, those aspects.
Great. Yeah. Love to hear a little more alpha leak out. Very cool.
Yeah. So yeah, no, only the team until now knew that they were going to be puppies, and then they will grow up into adults. And then different features will be added according to that. Different leveling systems. There's a bonding system too. So the more you are taking care of those MetaPets, that the more that they will bond with you, and then that will give you better multipliers for the breeding system to get higher rarities. And there's going to be a certain level where you can actually breed. So we're not going to let you breed right off the bat. Like, you're not going to be able to breed like right off of the get-go. Like, you'll have to actually work with your MetaPets to get them to a system of breeding. Anyone that's played Fallout, the old games, you remember how they have like all those perks and traits and everything that unlock, and you can choose and all that. So we're putting a system like that into the MetaPetz gameplay too.
Very cool. Very cool. I'm sure that's drumming up a lot of ideas and questions in people's minds as they hear it. It's really interesting how you guys are doing that. I saw
Thank you.
some.
We just want to create, these moments with meaning, and like wow the community. And when you're playing the game, like we have even okay, let me tell you a little bit about raids. So we'll have these giant raids in the metaverse, and you'll have to defeat this raid boss to go to like the next level or the next iteration of the storyline, or even the roadmap. So there'll be like a raid boss, and once the community has defeated that raid boss, then the next new breed or new series or new NFTs could potentially be coming, and you'll be able to get NFT rewards, potentially whitelists from other projects, NFTs from other projects, crafting materials for our crafting system that we'll be creating later on this year, where you can craft NFTs and literally the sky's the limit. You could even craft a spaceship. You could craft different types of weapons to use in our game, or maybe even partners games. So we're looking at all that cross compatibility, interoperability that we can do and use across several different communities, like creating this MMORPG where you can tie in 200 different projects, have alliances and guilds, and territory wars and all kinds of different things in the network metaverse.
Very fun.
Yeah, it's I can't wait, man. I can't wait to play our own game.
Yeah, I'm sure you're psyched. Someone mentioned, are they going to see some partnerships with other NFT projects?
Yes.
Some things in the work there that you can elucidate?
So we do have a few other NFT projects. Yes, that there's the biggest one that we're partnering with. I can't announce it just yet, but we have NFT projects like Project Pigeon. We have NFT projects like the Pandemic NFT project here on Polygon. We're exploring every way we can work with other NFTs, and then have different utilities we can add into our system where they can come and play in our games, or even we can say, hey, like, let's create MetaPetz, or let's create avatars from your NFTs and bring them into our games, and we'll do revenue shares with that. So the MetaPetz project eventually become this pretty massive gaming studio that can offer all kinds of different things to other projects, and bring them into everything that we're building with our multiverse.
Cool.
Yeah, and that secret project that I haven't said anything about, that will be announced, should be announced maybe in the next 6 weeks or so. That's going to have the most interoperability and utility cross pollination for every type of NFT project out there than you've ever seen before.
Wow.
That's the alpha that I'll give on that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Let's see. Andy had a list of questions here. I think you might have touched on some of them, but let me read off what he wrote in the chat. He's been asking for a little while here. So one of the most attractive elements of the project for me is the breeding system. Can you give us some details on how it works? Is there genetic inheritance transmitted to the new NFTs? How much does it
Yes.
cost? How many babies can you have for each pet? Can pets be rented to complete the pair? A lot of questions. Maybe you don't have all the answers yet, but
no,
maybe a few.
we do have the answers to that. So, yes, all of the above. So, with the breeding system, there will be some innovations that we're bringing to breeding that you haven't really seen from other NFT projects just yet. But one of those is that when we're working with other projects, we add traits and different items that those particular MetaPetz can customize on themselves, right? And then they will with different rarity systems and very much the same type of rarity systems that most of the gaming projects have, like common, uncommon, rare, epic, legendary, right? And so we're looking at, okay, like if you're breeding a MetaPetz and you want to get a specific trait or something like that, and it's maybe from another project, that you might have to burn some of their tokens to get higher multipliers to get that trait. Or you would have to stake a certain amount of that token. So the breeding right now, as we see it, you will have to hold a certain amount of the Polydoge token, and then you will use also some MetaPetz tokens, and there'll be a floor price that is just across the board, that this is the amount that you'll have to use for breeding. Okay. Now, breeding, it happens on particular zones within networks. So you'll have these zones of MetaPetz parks where you breed, and the owners of those MetaPetz parks will get a percentage of the breed fees. And those breed fees, right, will have the floor price, but every breeder will be able to decide how much more on top of that they want to charge for breeding with their MetaPetz, depending on the different rarities and traits that they have and genetics, right? So there's another, gamification element there. And with the MetaPetz parks, there'll also be gamification, like crafting systems are put in place. There'll be a digging game there where you can take your MetaPetz and you can dig in the parks and potentially find rare items, NFTs, tokens, crafting items that you can use to craft other things. And then we're even looking at, like, how can we make it so that when we do something on the MetaPetz parks, that it'll actually affect real world things too. So there'll be like a percentage that will come out and maybe go to different charities or projects or helping with like economies or even the environment. So that's another aspect that we're adding there.
Awesome.
So
yeah,
let me just simply say this. So when you breed, you will put in your MetaPetz that you want to breed, and there'll be male and female. And so the females will actually be the ones that give the puppies, and the males will be the ones that can be like, hey, breed, like, I'm looking for, a female to breed with, right? And then they'll get a percentage of that breed fee, and then the females will actually get the puppies, and those puppies could be very valuable depending on what happens within the game economy itself.
Wow.
Okay,
It's
and then
close to real life. I like it.
yeah, close to real life. And then the other aspect to that is that we haven't decided exactly the amount that is going to happen like each month. There'll probably be a certain amount that you can breed each month, or it might even be like a capped amount. So maybe a MetaPetz could only do 7 or 10 breeds, and that's it, right? So for per MetaPetz. So we're trying to look at that, and we're also looking at ways that we can take MetaPetz and decrease the supply. So if we have that breeding happening, right, it could get crazy. Like you could have so many MetaPetz being breeded, right, and then that decreases the value over time. So how do we add those like burn mechanics? And so we're looking at, okay, maybe you take 4 MetaPetz and you can turn them into like a Super Saiyan MetaPetz, right? Or and like burn them and like merge them into another type of hybrid breed or something like that. So we're looking into that as well.
Very cool. Well, a lot of discussion on breeding and getting people a little fired up in the chat. So
yeah, and then renting, of course we will have a renting system. It's a no-brainer for us. There's plenty of people out there, like, yeah, they'll love what we've created, but they don't have the time to play the game. And so other people that want to play, yeah, go ahead and rent that out to them, and they can play with your MetaPetz, and then you'll get a percentage of the rewards that are being given through that gameplay. And it's a win-win situation. Well, win-win-win situation for everyone.
Yep.
I have a question
Great.
regarding the DAO tome fork and how it relates to MetaPetz. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I definitely can. So it's pretty amazing that we launched a successful tomb fork on Polygon, with the Polydoge ecosystem called the Polydoge DAO. You can go there, polydogedao.net. We're sitting at, let me see here, sitting at 3.5 million TVL right now, and we're just working to grow our partners, different ways that we can work with LP. We would love to have some elk LPs with that particular ecosystem. So one thing with the Polydoge DAO is we are growing a significant treasury, and that treasury is going to helping with different projects within the Polydoge ecosystem itself. And so there's aspects of helping with funding. Another thing is that the Ibishunis, we don't know what it looks like just yet, but the Ibishunis themselves, we definitely will have APR multipliers where you can stake your Ibishunis on the polydogedao.net tomb fork, and earn higher APRs on the boardroom. So that's a feature that will be coming with the Ibishunis. And we haven't really said that just out loud just yet, but I mean, it's in our roadmap on the tomb fork. The other things about the tomb fork is that there will be ways that we even have cross gamification with the tomb fork with MetaPetz. So there'll be ways that you'll maybe even do like missions with your MetaPetz on the polydogedao.net and earn tokens through that. So everything that we create with Polydoge is benefiting all the projects that are part of the whole entire ecosystem that we're building. And Polydoge is like the king token, governance token. With every project that we're doing, whether that's NFTs, DeFi, play to earn, metaverse, other different types of products that might be coming out in the near future here, that you will have to own Polydoge to access those ecosystems, access those reward systems. And so people that are looking at our PolyDogeDAO.net right now, and they're like, oh man, like we're making so much money off of this, and it's so incredible. And I mean, look at the gains, and why should I hold Polydoge right now? Well, I mean, I'm telling you, you'll want to hold Polydoge because our goal is to get Polydoge up to $1 billion market cap as a team. That is our goal, and it will be the main governance token and the token that accesses everything, and then everything that will be going back in. So MetaPetz DAO token itself, 10% of that entire token supply will be owned by Polydoge, by the Polydoge DAO. And also we're using the treasury to buy back Polydoge. And I'm telling you right now, as we continue to grow and get more successful, we're going to be buying back Polydoge like you've never seen before. And then Polydoge will be used in many other gamified ways, burn systems. Polydoge is the king, like I said.
Are there any in real life aspects that are going to be going to keeping supply to that TVL, or is it all hinged on investors?
You mean like real life products?
Right.
Yes, there definitely is real life products in the works right now, and that's I don't want to say too much about that, but we want to bridge the metaverse with reality and vice versa. So our product offers will not just be in crypto; will be also in the real world. And then
That sounds
and
dope.
then
Sorry,
and
I
then
just kind of
bringing back that value. Oh yeah, no, and I think it's I see Wellness World Shop, a world of hemp and organic wellness. That's awesome. Like I'm a big advocate for wellness, and that's another thing that kind of drives some of the different touch points of what we're creating with MetaPetz come from my background in healthcare and before I got into some of like the nonprofit projects that I've worked with, I was actually in school to become a naturopathic physician, and so yeah, big fan of all those things, and we'll
Thanks.
be looking at
That's
all
awesome.
those ways that we can add that, because it's important that we can create a narrative where all of us can benefit the most, and it's not just about how much money can we make in the metaverse or how much money we can make in crypto. There's so many different things that hinge on creating this better and more empowered new world in Web3, and so we want to be trailblazers in that.
That sounds amazing, man. And I just actually just turned on my computer. I was driving when I first jumped in, so I'm a little behind. But looking at your guys's bond section, you guys live on Matic and you're pegged to Matic?
Yeah, we are. Yep, we're pegged to Matic.
You had me at fork.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, we have quite a robust roadmap when it comes to the Tomb Fork. We'll be doing our own IDOs, Launchpad. We'll be doing synthetic trading markets. We're looking at other ways we can gamify, and because when it comes to Tomb Fork, you got to find all the ways to keep inflation in check, and add more use cases for the main algo stablecoin. And so that's a big focus with our team right now. And we actually have 3 Solidity devs that are working on that project right now.
This all sounds amazing. You guys have a casino here. You sound like you're American. How are you guys getting around legal with that?
Because we're a decentralized organization, and we don't have like myself, right? I can't play that casino unless I had a VPN, right? But I mean I don't I don't even do that, right? But yeah, so we're getting around that by making sure that people that are playing it, are obviously legally can, and so that's kind of the way that we're doing that, because the regulations here in the United States are just really strict when it comes to casinos and gambling.
Right. So like if people have are using an IP and they're not using a VPN and they have an IP in a state or region that they
It'll
can't,
tell them
right?
they
Like,
can't. Yep, it'll tell them they can't. It'll say no. You're not able to play in this because of the legal restrictions in your country.
it's beautiful, dude.
Hmm.
Good job, dude.
Sorry,
I like what I
sorry,
see.
sorry to jump in. At the top of the conversation, you mentioned about some health benefits in the real world from your project. I was wondering if you could touch on that a little bit for me.
Yeah. So I'm a veteran, and I dealt with a decent amount of PTSD. In June of 2013, when I was at the height of running my sports massage clinics and everything, I got a major chronic illness, and I was on my deathbed for 2 years. And during that time, I even had for the first time in my life thoughts of suicide, which was absolutely crazy. I never thought ever that I would think that, because I was in so much pain. I was in stabbing, shooting, ripping, gripping pain, like pain that I had never experienced before. And it was 24/7, never stopped, and no medications could even touch it. It was ridiculous. And so, um, one one aspect that helped me more than anything with that was gaming. So I turned to gaming, and I turned to virtual worlds, virtual experiences, and stories and gaming communities. And I actually played Final Fantasy: A Realm Reborn, and I got to the point where I was like top one of the top players in the world, and had a guild of 500 people, and we pretty much controlled that entire server and all the economics and everything. But through that experience, I found that gaming could be a great way to deal with depression, and a great way to deal with many other psychological things that we could be dealing with mentally. And so with the MetaPetz, we're exploring every type of way that your MetaPetz can help you. Even looking into potentially biofeedback mechanisms where your MetaPetz will actually be able to tell if you are depressed and change the way that they interact with you through the AI systems that we're building, to help you have a better day. And in maybe even like early detection systems potentially for suicide. I mean, there's so much that we can do with this technology that, and there's things I'm not even thinking of that potentially could be coming down the road. But think of your MetaPetz as yeah, not just a digital GameFi companion in the metaverse or an AR, but also like a companion for your life, a companion that is there to support you and help you, and be there indefinitely to support you and grow with you and evolve with you, and learn from you, and you will learn from them.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. Yeah, that's really interesting. I was sort of thinking more down kind of the move to earn kind of road. I never sort of considered the mental aspect of it. So that's really interesting. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I mean, the physical aspect is important too, and the move to earn, like with our AR app, you can take your MetaPetz out on a walk outside, and it'll count, the distance that you go, and you'll get rewarded according to that, and that there'll be different kind of Pokemon Go aspects where you walk a certain distance and it unlocks certain things. Or another thing that we want to add in the AR, which we haven't really seen much yet, is like random quests. So like you could have a random quest that pops up and says like, hey, do you accept this quest? And maybe that quest is, and it'll give you like an estimated time to complete. And that could be a physical quest, that could be a mental quest. It could be something that is quizzing you on something. It could be a quiz on some type of even history. It could be history. It could be psychology. It could be math. It could be all kinds of different things. And so, like, it's a lot deeper than you can than you realize at first, right? Everything that you see that we've kind of showcased so far, this is just the beginning of what the overall vision is.
Yeah, that's so cool. That's really cool. Thanks.
Thank you. And it really takes the whole community to make this, work together. Like, yeah, we have a great team, but every one of us has great ideas. Every one of us has our different perspectives from life. And so we feel that's kind of like one of the main things that's really going to make us successful, is that the community is building this, that we're all building it together. And how can we make this more impactful? And yeah, there's so many ways that we already talked to a few different communities that maybe even want to use the MetaPetz like as therapy pets, right? And so we could have a certain amount, and maybe they're not necessarily gamified. Maybe they're just specifically being used for the therapy aspect of what we're creating.
Hey, Mr. Charters, thank you for your service, by the way.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you. I so appreciate all the questions and everything, and you guys, phenomenal questions.
Lots of great questions, great answers as well. Someone was asking about the food and feeding them. How does that work?
Yes. Okay. So our food system that we're creating is it's mind blowing. So we're going to work with other projects on that food system too, but we'll have an entire like cooking system where you'll be able to cook the food and make it into NFTs, craft it into different NFTs. They'll have different traits and attributes, create different types of buffs. People will be able to be like a cook, for MetaPetz in the metaverse. That's kind of the inspiration that came from that was actually Final Fantasy: A Realm Reborn. Final Fantasy: A Realm Reborn, you have a class of cooking, and in that game, I was actually a level 50 cooker, which is the highest cooker you can get to, or cook that you can get to, and you can craft, the best meals that the different characters can eat, and they get really high bonuses for raids and different gamification aspects in the game. And so we're doing the same thing with the MetaPetz, and then that food. Okay, I'm gonna drop some alpha real quick, just a little bit, just a taste test. That food is not just going to be for MetaPetz. That food will be able to be used across many other pets metaversal projects. I'm just going to say that. That's all I'm going to say about that.
All right. Interesting. So you got to cook the food. There's going to be NFTs in around the food. Man, you guys really thought this out in depth.
Lots of MMORPGs I've played, so it's more, much of the much of the inspiration for these things comes from that. And so, because when we come across a problem, we say to ourselves, okay, well, how can we do it different? How can we do it better? And so a white paper is being made right now. It's going to take us some time because I think it'll probably be about like 100, 130 pages or something like that. Really, really in depth, and you'll get to see every aspect of what we're creating. There's another thing I haven't even talked about yet, and it is on our roadmap. We're doing a game show where artists from all around the world can create 2D and 3D NFTs for our games and get rewarded and have royalties, and it's live. And so you'll get to see these competitions of different artists competing to create assets for our games, and then also creating assets for partners' games too. So that makes it so that we have unlimited content creation coming back into our ecosystem.
Very cool. Unlimited creativity, it sounds like, coming out of this team. It's very, very awesome.
Thank you.
So a lot going on right now. Maybe this is kind of crazy to imagine, but where do you see the project 5 years from now?
5 years from now, I see MetaPetz. I see MetaPetz being a global leader for ways to create impact from blockchain technology by using gamification, by using AR and VR technology, and then I see millions of people having MetaPetz, having digital MetaPetz as companions, being more or less a household name.
Yep. With 500 different elk and moose pets running around.
Yeah, definitely. And that, yeah, and we'll have many other species. We definitely are gonna have dragons. I love dragons. I've always wanted to have a baby dragon. That's like been one of my fantasies. We didn't start with dragons because it just wouldn't make sense according to our branding of Polydoge and everything that we've done so far. So we start with the Shiba Inus, and then we move on to different breeds, and then from there we'll move on to different species like elk or pigeons or dragons or wolves. We actually talked to the top nonprofit for helping with wolves, and there might be some type of aspect that comes with that. So different accessory lines for your MetaPetz, working with different brands, non-endemic and endemic to crypto. Physical merch and products that will be tying back into MetaPetz, tying back into the Polydoge ecosystem. A AR mobile experience that is like no other, because we can literally put any type of project into it and provide value for we're not just siloing. Like, you look at Pokemon Go, right? And yes, they do have the Pokestops, which are cool and everything. But those we can put gamified assets from other projects into our AR mobile, and help them to grow through everything that we're building. Having that layer that they can create exposure. With our AR right now, we're working with a guy that has been developing his own AR mobile app for the last 3.5 years, and he's so impressed with what we've done already. So he's been looking for a partner to work with that particular app, and so we're just like, might as well work with him, and not we don't have to spend years of developing our own thing, right? And so we can work together. And so there's already, the app's almost 80% done already.
Incredible. Okay, we're running towards the end of time here. So any other questions from the crowd get them in now, speak up now, or forever hold your peace, or bring them to the Polydoge Discord as well, of course.
Yeah, let me, I'm just going down to see, let's see. Let's see. I'm just looking to see if there's any other questions that were sent in the chat here. Colin, but you can
I've
breed
lost
elk
track.
tokens right now.
I've
Yes,
yes,
you
you can
can.
breed. Yeah, I've decided we've discussed breeding so much at this point. Yeah, so breed elk by farming elk right now, and you can farm it
That's
with
right.
Polydoge. So you can breed elk with Polydoge. Elk is the mother, or I don't know which one. Elk's the mother, Polydoge is the father, or vice versa,
Yeah.
or however they want to identify. Let's say.
Yeah.
There you go.
However,
There's PC
however
for you.
yeah, however they want to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's focus on breeding more elk for the moment. We can breed pets later on, as soon as you guys get rolling.
Definitely. All right. Well, if anyone has any other questions, yeah, we're free for another probably like 8 minutes, and I gotta go to another meeting.
Yes, I have one as well.
But I so appreciate having us here today and getting to talk about. I mean, I could talk about this for days, just because so passionate about what we can create to help change lives. Because I really believe it's like I said, it's not just a game. It's a way that we can impact lives through this technology.
Love it. That's great. Well, yeah, I'd love to having you here. Obviously, a lot of interacting going between our teams, so this won't be the last time we talk and last time we hear from each other. So yeah, if you guys have questions, again, spam the Polydoge chat from here on forward, please. But yeah, thank you all for listening in, for your questions in the Telegram and here live as well. For those that did get a chance to chime in, appreciate having you and your time. So yeah, we'll roll it out and say goodbye and go from there. So thanks once more, Jordan.
Thank you, Pedro. I hope you guys
Very
have
well.
a wonderful weekend.
Thank you,
and everything.
Jordan.
Hey, Bart.
Bye, bro. Love you.
Love you too, man.
Jordan is the best, bro. I mean, I am just absolutely blown away by what you are doing with this. It's amazing.
Thanks, man.
It really
Thanks. I
is.
mean, it takes all of us, man. It takes all of us, all of our ideas, everything. I mean, it's a team effort, team and community effort. So, yeah,
I remember
I'm just
when
a small part of it.
launched. I remember when Polydoge launched at 50K. Those were
I
the
wish I
days.
had bought it at 50K.
Yeah, me too. Me too, man.
I didn't even get it at 50K, bro. I was like, I don't know what's going to happen with this. And then, damn, we're building a global brand.
Yeah.
Wasn't there an announcement in New York just yesterday?
What's that?
Was there something that happened recently in New York?
Oh, no.
Or am I dreaming?
No.
Okay, never mind. I will
Yeah.
shut up.
Yeah, no problem.
Pipe down.
Not yet, sir. Not yet.
I was misinformed.
It's all good. It's all good, man. But all right, guys, have an amazing weekend, and yeah, go ahead and come into the Polydoge TG. Come onto the MetaPetz Discord. Ask us any questions. Come help us build the game. Come help us.
All right.
Are we gonna have
Thanks
golden
so much.
retrievers, bro? Are we gonna have golden retrievers in this?
And black labs. And black labs.
Oh,
Yeah,
heck
yeah,
yeah, man. Yeah, because black labs are my favorite, by the way, and then golden retrievers are my second. So yeah, of course.
Okay. Thank God. Thank God.
Yeah, there's no way I'm not gonna let that happen, man. Yeah.
I got bit by a Shiba Inu in China, so I want a golden retriever.
You did?
Yeah, dude. It literally bit my finger to the bone on both sides, and I was bleeding and shooting blood all over the security
Oh my
guard.
gosh, bro. That's insane, man.
Yeah.
That's freaking nuts.
Yeah, it was
Old
quite-
guard dogs, those guys.
Woo, dang.
Yo, the dog attacked my dog, golden retriever, bit him by the throat. I opened its mouth up with my hands, and he went ham on my finger.
Whoa. That's insane.
Anyway,
man.
that's why I'm gonna buy a golden retriever.
Yeah, how's your finger doing now, man?
It has a dent in it a little bit, but it's finally healed. But I mean, it took 6 months.
Oh, I bet. I mean, yeah, because that's a pretty good soft tissue injury there.
Yeah. So I'm not going to interact with Shiba Inus unless they're in network. That's it.
Yeah. Unless they're digital. Unless they're Ibashunis, right?
Exactly.
Unless you're playing with them in the Battle Royale.
Exactly. Safest way to do it, and it actually has a monetary value. So I'll stick with that.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. I can't wait, man. I can't wait to see what happens. Oh, it's exciting times. Exciting times all around. But all right, guys, we will.
Talk to you
we'll
soon.
talk later.
Talk to you soon.
Yep.
If you're not in the Polydoge Telegram, come in. I will tell you to do that, and that is financial advice. Good night.
Thanks, Bart. All right, take care, guys.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.